Astro Boy is one of those characters that everyone has seen or heard of before. He was created way on back in the 50s by a man who's considered the grandfather of manga and anime, Osamu Tezuka, and now Astro Boy is starring in the Game Boy Advance's best game of the year so far. It's really a must-have action game for the GBA and ranks right up there in the leagues of other games like the Super Mario Advance series and the Metroid series and the Castlevania games. So it really is top-notch, and it's brought to you by the makers of other fine action games such as Ikaruga and Gunstar Heroes, a company known as Treasure. Actually, the game was co-developed by Treasure, Sega, and Hitmaker, but regardless, the results are fantastic. The game lets you play as Astro Boy in sort of a conventional side-scrolling 2D action game style, but as Astro Boy, you have access to a number of really unique moves and abilities that make this action really deliver a lot of high-quality stuff. You'll be fighting a lot of enemies that are way, way bigger than you. Many of them fill the screen. Sometimes you'll be fighting lots of enemies that fill the screen all at the same time. And you'll be blasting them left and right, knocking them side to side, and engaging in lots of non-stop action the whole way through. The game's got plenty of surprises. Occasionally it switches to sort of side-scrolling shooting sequences where you're not just running around on foot. You're flying and blasting bad guys with your finger laser and avoiding lots of hails of bullets, sort of in a manner reminiscent of classic side-scrolling shooters like Gradius. Then you're back on foot, beating up guys with your punches and kicks, flying through them with your turbo jets, and basically just fighting lots and lots of different stuff, getting surprised all the time by one surprising boss after another. The game itself features dozens of different characters from the classic manga, so fans of the original Astro Boy storylines will recognize many of them, but may also be introduced to a number of more obscure characters that they've never seen before. At any rate, the story does help the experience along, but the action itself is the main attraction, and after you finish the game for the first time, you'll definitely want to go back for more, if not because the story invites you to do so, but also because you'll be able to unlock more secrets, power up your character, and basically get the most out of the game by revisiting the levels. The game looks just like you'd want an Astro Boy game to look. Basically, the main character is animated very smoothly and very well, exhibits a lot of personality, and so do the other characters you'll be fighting. There are a lot of strange-looking enemies in the game, but the bosses themselves are probably the main attraction, and again, many of them just stand the full screen tall and will give you a dramatic speech before you fight them, and oftentimes you'll be fighting them back-to-back and things like that, not just at the end of every level. Altogether, Astro Boy Omega Factor does rank up there as one of the best action games on the GBA yet. It's definitely a must-have game if you've enjoyed other similar action games or other games from Treasure, and especially if you're a fan of the Astro Boy character. But by any means, if you're a GBA fan and you want to play a great action game, check this one out.